Stop recording. Speech off.
Hey guys, on YouTube. I'm gonna be moving to BitChute sometime. If you don't know what that is, that's a platform similar to YouTube that has less strict rules. So if you guys want to join BitChute, you can do that. I think it's spelt capital BIT, capital CHUTE. So if you want to check that out, you can go ahead. But anyways, I would just want to say that I may not be doing any Bop It videos in 2020. Like I said, I'm probably going to do more blindness product related videos, just to let people know that there are some blindness products out there. Now, they may not be the most expensive or the most current, but I don't need the most current blindness product out there. I just need a sample of what's out there so that I could show people that it really is out there. I know it's out there, but do you guys know? By the way, Theory of a Blind Man said a Perkins note back. That would be cool though, but how would they make it? I mean, yeah, they got the technology now, but what if there was a typewriter that not only does the regular things a typewriter can do, like the Perkins, but it can also turn into a note taker. Like, there are some Braille displays that have note-taking modes. Like, there's one that has a note-taker mode and a Braille display mode. They have what's called standby mode, where you can actually use it, or standalone. Standalone is like, you can use the device without a computer, you can use it independently, but let me tell you, it doesn't really do too much. There may be some Braille displays that are under the $500 mark that are cheap enough that you could actually use as a note taker. And yeah, the Orbit Reader 20 is the most affordable Braille display out there. It may be on the real expensive side, but hey, that's the cheapest for a Braille display, and I don't know of any other Braille displays that are cheaper. I do know of a Braille display that has about 12 cells on it. The Braille Pen 12, the Focus Blue 14, the Orbit Reader 20, the Focus 40 Blue 40, the Focus Blue 40. The Braille Note, Apex, and other models have like 18 and 32 cell models. I haven't had a 32 cell Braille display. I'm in a Braille Note. I've had one for like maybe about a couple of years maybe. But yeah. So it looks like someone has used a Braille Note Empower like I have first. Because I have at one point used a Braille Note Empower. And let me tell you, that was fun. I had to use that for 4 years though. I'm not telling you what for, I'm just telling you I used it. And there was a feature called Remote Synthesizer. I don't know what that means though. Do you guys know what Remote Synthesizer means? Let me know in the comments. That would really help. And by the way, would you guys mind listing off the main menu options, or the main menu, the things on the options on the main menu are on the Braille Note Empower, because on the Apex, especially when the newer models, there's, I think there's, navigation, is that right? Or has that been on all of them, since 2009? Because the Braille Note Apex is a bit of a modern, Braille Note. And it had the scroll wheel. The M-Power didn't. So it's like, I wonder what the Braille Note Classic was like. I mean, I've heard the original Braille Note was like very cool, and it was released in 2000 actually. About 19 years ago today. I mean, not today, but 19 years ago. Next year, the Braille Note, the original Braille Note, would be 20 years old. Now, can you believe that? I'd like to get the original Braille Note just to see what that's like. I'm not sure if that had a USB port, but knowing Humanware, I bet they didn't. I bet the original one didn't have a USB port. But I'm curious. I like old stuff. Now, not everything works on an old product, but that doesn't mean it doesn't work at all. I mean, sure, if you think about an old computer, yeah, that probably doesn't work. Because, like, take the iPod Touch, for example. The original iPod Touch through the fourth, I think, they don't all work. The first generation, at all doesn't work. And then the first and second, and the third, and the fourth. The fourth works a lot better than the first. But the fifth works the best. The sixth has just gotten its support ended this year. And now there's a seventh generation that works pretty well. Now, if you think about Windows XP on a computer that runs Windows, that's probably not going to work. So, Windows XP lovers, you may not... I'm talking about you, Microsoft Sam. Windows XP lovers. You may not like Windows XP anymore. And by the way, Windows 7 is losing support in a couple of days. Is that right? I think it is. I think it is. Yeah, I really think so. Yeah, I really think so. Now I'm going to talk about cartoon characters. So, if any blind person has heard of Clifford the Big Red Dog, you might know that a new reboot has just came out. You might be wondering, why am I talking about this? Well, the owner of Clifford, which is Emily Elizabeth, is right now, I heard on an article that the character is 7 years old. Now you may be wondering, you're too old for that. You may be too old for that. I'm like, but I could say, I'm not fascinated about the age. I'm fascinated of what year she could have been born in. And that was probably 2012. Boom. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say. Now back to my technology thing. Let's see what embossers I've worked with. I've worked with the Blazy Brown embosser. I think I don't know. I know I've worked with a Romeo embosser before, but what? Let me know in the comments what embossers you've worked with. What embossers have you worked with on your videos, if any? Have you worked with a Blazy Brown and like a Blazy Braille embosser? I forgot what the actual name of it was. It was something Brailer. Something Brailer, I think. I think Blazy Braille embosser, but I don't know. I heard those things were made in the 1990s. I can remember that sound, man. It's kind of nostalgic, those old Braille notes and embossers. Help me on the comments, guys. I'm trying to think. What was? I think the name was printed on the embosser in raised print. I'm trying to think. It was big enough so that I could read it. Because I can read raised print. Not just Braille, but raised print. And trying to think, what was that? Blazy? I don't know. Just tell me out in the comments, guys, what embossers were out there back in the 90s. Because I think I've used one from the 90s. Let me try and think. Come on, Beyond. It shouldn't be that hard to think about. Well, then again, I haven't used it in like 7 years. I've gone to a Romeo embosser before. What was that? Was it? I haven't used one in like about 6 years or so. So it's obvious I can't remember. But Razor? I don't know. No, it wasn't a Razor. Just give me a minute. I'm trying to think. I'm not old. It's just having to use that particular embosser in about 6 or 7 years. I'm trying to think about it. Trying to think. Did it start with an R or what? Let's see. If I could try to describe it. I think it had like a serial cable. Or like it wasn't USB, it was something else. I'm trying to think. Well, if I can't get the answer, maybe you guys can help me out in the comments. It's not that I'm old, it's just I can't. I can't think of it right now. I haven't used it in a long time. I'm trying to think, was it printed in Braille and in print, or was it just Braille, print? I know the sounds and everything. Well, maybe it was Braille Blazer. Yeah, maybe that was it. Maybe it was a Braille Blazer. I don't know. Just let me know what embossers were from the 90s, what Braille embossers were from the 1990s in the comments. If it was Braille Blazer, then I guess that was it. But I don't know. It was like one of those voices that were used in the 1990s. And then in like the 2000s when the Romeo one came out, and then that Romeo one was made in what, 2005, 6? I think it was Braille Blazer. But I don't know. Just let me know in the comments below. Goodbye. I guess I'll see, no pun intended, see you later.